For those of you out there with a 2014 and up Toyota Tundra, you're probably wondering what the best LED headlight bulb is, and honestly there are hundreds of options. In this video today I've taken some of the best bulbs out there from some of the best manufacturers, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what you get with each of these bulbs. I'm going to show you guys which one produces the best beam pattern, the most brightness, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you guys how to install it so you can do this at home with basic hand tools. So let's get this thing flipped around, point it at the wall, and let's see which one of these bulbs is the brightest. Now the way this test is going to work today is I've got a digital lux meter in my hand, and we're going to back this truck up, point it at our wall at about 25 feet, and I'm going to start with the stock halogen headlight bulbs, and we're going to go in any particular order. I'm going to show you guys from least bright to most bright. I'm also going to talk about the beam patterns. Now the way we're measuring this with this lux meter today, the reading of lux itself is the best way to tell how bright a headlight bulb is, but you have to remember it is relative to our testing conditions. If you buy a lux meter at home and you do this test in your garage from 15 feet, 20 feet, you buy a different meter than the one we have, you're going to get different numbers. The percentage change should be about the same. However, keep in mind, you might get a different number. Truthfully, what I show you today is going to be accurate, and if you bought all these same bulbs, you're going to get a similar result. So after all of that, let's figure out what bulb is the brightest option possible for your Toyota Tundra. Our stock Toyota Tundra low beam came in at 240 lux. Now pay careful attention to the right side beam pattern. As you'll see, there's a little bit of glare, and I did notice this on a lot of the LED bulbs that we tested. Remember, an LED bulb is not going to fix your beam pattern. If you've got a bad beam pattern from the factory, it may only make it brighter. You'll still experience a lot of the same glare. Our stock high beam comes in at 470 lux. As you can see, it really just scatters the light. That is very common with dual beam bulbs like this one. Let's see what our LED bulbs can do. Here we've got the Philips H4 LED bulb. Now this one is one that's popped up in the comment sections on these Tundra videos of ours for quite a while. We've been dying to see how it performs. It's got a large driver. It's got a generous amount of cable with it. Let's see how it does. Our Philips bulb came in at 720 maximum lux. Now 720 is not a bad number, and if you didn't know any better, 720 is an awful lot better than 240 lux stock. You might be inclined to pick this bulb, but take a look at the beam pattern. This is why it's so important to do your testing. Do your research. Don't just buy anything that you find on the internet, because as you can see, this beam pattern is not going to help you driving down the road at night. We don't have much for a hot spot. We've got significant glare above the cutoff line, what little cutoff line there is with this bulb. Let's switch over to high beam. The high beam came in at 550 lux, and as you can see on the wall here, there is a lot of scatter. There's kind of a lack of light, lack of a hot spot here. So we've got a lot of light up in the trees, down in the ditches, and pretty much everywhere except the center of the road. This is not going to be a good high beam option for you. At only 550 lux, our stock high beam was 470. We didn't really pick up anything here. Next up, we've got the SV4 bulb. Now this one's been on our channel quite a bit. It's a fan-based bulb, and it's got a large external driver. This one, honestly, we've sold this bulb for the Toyota Tundra for quite a while now. A lot of people are happy with it, and I can't wait to see how it compares to the other bulbs we're testing today. The SV4 low beam came in at 860 lux, and this one actually produced a really nice low beam pattern. We've installed this on Tundras on this channel before, as I mentioned earlier in the intro. It's honestly a channel favorite bulb. However, surprisingly, this low beam did not place the highest on our list. Still gets a great honorable mention, but you know what? There is one better option I'm going to show you guys in just a second. Now the SV4 high beam completely redeemed this bulb. The high beam on the SV4 was the best one we tested out of the bunch. It came in at 1,740 lux compared to the stock 470. That is a big jump. As you can see, we've got a nice hot spot, got a lot of flood left to right, got a little bit up and down, but not as crazy as some of the other bulbs. And honestly, this thing's going to shoot way down the road. So if you're looking for solely a high beam based bulb, this is not a bad option. But truthfully, if you guys are anything like us here, you drive around mostly with your low beams on, and therefore there is one better option. Next up, we've got the GTR Lighting Ultra Series 2 bulb. Now this is the second iteration of their Ultra Series bulb, which you've probably seen tested quite a bit on our channel. And so I'm really excited to see how this one stacks up. Now it is fan-based. Their last bulb wasn't. Their last bulb was passively cooled, so I'm excited to see how that makes a difference. And it's got a pretty small driver. Let's see how it compares. Now the GTR Lighting Ultra 2 bulb came in at 1,080 lux. That is not bad. It does beat the SV4, which, like I said, has been a channel favorite for a while. It's cool to see that, and I can't wait to try this bulb out in other applications because we did pick up almost 200 lux over the SV4. Now the high beam on the Ultra 2 came in at 1,340 lux. This came out pretty good. This is a good looking high beam, and honestly overall this is a pretty balanced bulb. We had a really good low beam, really good high beam. Definitely not a bad option. If you're looking for a Toyota Tundra headlight, this is a good choice. Now the Morimoto 2-stroke continues to be one of the most requested bulbs that we get in our YouTube comments, so we had to include it in this shootout. A lot of people like it. It seems to have an awesome following. It's a small compact bulb. It is fan based like the SV4 and like the GTR Lighting Ultra Series 2. Let's see how this one does. Now the Morimoto 2-stroke, in my opinion, wins this LED bulb shootout. This came in at 1,360 for the low beam, and honestly, look at that low beam pattern. It is so clean. We have very, very little glare above the cutoff line. We've got two very distinct hot spots, and let's face it, the majority of the time we're driving around with our low beams on. So to base this comparison off of high beam just doesn't make much sense. Low beam's where it's at. Coming in at 1,360 compared to our 240 lux stock, that is a big jump. If you install these in your Tundra, you're gonna be very happy with them. Now the Morimoto 2-stroke high beam did leave a little bit to be desired. We've got some diffusion going on here. We've got a little bit of light scatter. The beam pattern is spread out. To be honest, the stock beam pattern was also spread out. So you know what, 780 lux compared to 470, it is still brighter. It is still gonna be effective. And let's face it, if you need a little more light when you flip your high beam switch on, you could always do the NSV light bar. We've got a full review on that on our channel. There are a few really good decisions you could make when it comes to choosing LED headlight bulbs for your truck. There's also a couple of not so great decisions, and here at Headlight Revolution, we do a lot of testing off camera to help you make the best decision possible. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm going to show you guys at home how you can do this install with just a couple hand tools in 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're looking at LED bulbs for your truck, you can visit our website, headlightrevolution.com. We carry most of the bulbs tested here in this video, and you can reference this video when you get them delivered to see how to install them. So the first thing you have to do is pop the hood. And honestly, this is one of my favorite trucks to take apart. There's not a whole lot to it. With a 10mm socket and a flat pry tool, you could use a flat screwdriver, you can get the whole front end of this truck apart in no time. So, starting along the top of the grill here, there are 4 10mm bolts to remove. Next, we've got 2 plastic clips to remove, one on the right side, one on the left side. Get under the center of the clip just like so. Pry it up, pops out just like that. Now this truck has a brush guard on it, so I'm going to drape a little towel here to prevent scratching the paint. But essentially, the way you want to remove this grill is just peel up the top. And now, if your Tundra hasn't been taken apart before, there's clips right here. They can be a little tough. This one's been apart before, so just pull it toward you. It'll remove just like so. Honestly, I've done this 20 or 30 times on different trucks. They don't break, so if it takes a little bit of effort, go ahead and just pull on it. Set the grill off to the side. Now we've got 2 more of those plastic clips holding this little trim piece on. Go ahead and get under them, just like so. Now this trim piece is going to pull off just like this. There's 2 bolts on the top of your headlight that you have to remove. This one, and there's a third one coming in from the side. So starting with this one, loosen it like so. And finally, this one coming in from the side. Now with those bolts removed, you can go ahead and lift up on these tabs right here. And the headlight's going to come out just like so. Now at this point you can remove your factory wiring harness. Just pulls off the bulb like that. Remove your dust cap. There's a little wire here that you can press in on. Bend it out of the way. And your factory halogen bulb comes out just like so. At this point you can install whichever LED bulb you choose to install and reverse this entire process to put your truck together. As you can see, installing whatever LED bulb you choose to buy is a breeze. Takes basic hand tools. You can do this at home in your garage, in your driveway. You could probably even do it in the rain. Now, if you need anything else for your Toyota Tundra, we do a lot of testing like this, and we're going to continue to do so. So please, by all means, subscribe to the channel below. We'd love to see you guys around, and we're going to keep updating this content. So as new bulbs come out in the future, we're going to continue to do shootouts just like this one to make sure that no matter what, you're buying the best possible bulb for your Toyota Tundra. Thanks for watching.